Janice writes, please comment on the fact that the NFL still enjoys a tax-exempt status as a nonprofit organization. Senator Tom Coburn has offered a bill to revoke this, and it has gotten no attention. In light of the current scandal, I think it's time for all of us to push for this.
Well, I think I think that's shown by some of the congressional action we've had this week. 12 members of the House Judiciary Committee signed a letter questioning Goodell's handling of this. And then we had 16 female senators yesterday send Goodell a letter saying that they want a no-tolerance policy for this kind of behavior, saying that the new policy the NFL put in after Ray Rice was that your first domestic abuse violation gets you a 6-game suspension. Your second gets you an indefinite ban from football that maybe could be revoked, and they're saying they want a no-tolerance policy. If you do it once, you're out. And I think that's because, as the caller points out, sports is important. In fact, the Congress people said, this is role models. These are people who are looked up to, and this is a big part of our culture. You need to lead here, Mr. Goodell.
Karen, we've talked in the past about the impact of having more women in elective office. Now 20 women in the U.S. Senate, a record. This letter might be an example of that. In fact, I'm curious about the 4 women senators who chose not to sign this letter. I don't know who they are.
Well, but on the other hand, and I would really recommend people go to our website because at the Washington Post, because we have a video of women fans last night and, coming out in support of Ray Rice and saying, this is, blaming the victim in some cases, saying that this is just not, and I'm just here to watch football. I have actually found the response of women sort of troubling in some ways.
Oh, this is an issue. Let's face it, there is nothing that gets trickier than talking about marriage, violence in marriage, sex, race. All of these things are mixed in. And those women, and they were women of all races, who were wearing Ray Rice's number last night at the Baltimore Ravens game, I think that they were answering a different question. They were not saying that they supported wife beating, certainly. They were certainly not saying they supported what Ray Rice did, but they felt that somehow they had been attacked by all of these people coming after Ray Rice, particularly because he represents to them the Baltimore Ravens. So they felt, as loyal fans, that they had been attacked, and they wanted to show their loyalty to the team and perhaps even to a star that they have cheered and supported in the past, or perhaps to his wife, who is standing by him so far in this entire incident. So it does get complicated quickly. And with respect to Congress, the fact that people are starting to talk about the NFL and some of these extraordinarily favorable treatments that they have under the law, that's the reason Roger Goodell is in trouble. The owners like Roger Goodell a great deal, but they're not going to like him so much if they feel like Congress is coming after them and they need somebody to throw under the bus.
So who could replace Goodell? Because one thought is Condoleezza Rice, who is a big football fan. And if you wanted to address concerns about attitudes toward domestic violence and the treatment of women, that might be one way to address it.
It certainly is, and she's expressed interest in it, saying that if she had a dream job, it would be NFL Commissioner, which is pretty extraordinary for somebody who was the Secretary of State. But I think we've heard from Congress that they're not looking right now to boot Goodell, that they're looking for answers from Goodell. The other interesting point I'll point out, of all the association chiefs and lobbyists, and in many ways the NFL is a lobby here in Washington, a very powerful one, Roger Goodell makes the most at $44 million a year.
That's a year.
That's a year.